Welcome to Creepin' It Real. I am Judah. This is Jacob. Behind the camera is the man that doesn't understand the meaning of personal space, Gabe.
All right, then.
I just wanted to bring up, just because we are using stalls that are next to each other does not mean it's story time. Okay?
I thought that's what we put the complaint box up for, so we could do this anonymously. Out there.
Okay. I get that.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Last movie that we streamed was Cyst.
I think the documentary on Dr. Pimple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the woke horror Cyst. In a world where men are men and women are women and they are attracted to the opposite sex.
Oh, no.
Cyst. Oh, it's horrible. There was no diversity and no representation. It was horrifying.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's good.
Anyway.
Ugh, cringe.
So, yeah, this was, what was it 2020? 22. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a new one. Your brother, and we had a special guest.
Yeah, my bro.
Judah's brother came in. Yeah, you thought it was a little bit older, actually. And I don't know why you thought it was older. My only guess is that because of the practical effects, which were fantastic.
Well, I became aware of this movie simply because I'm walking through his warehouse and I see this box of random stuff, and I just see this like DVD, which
who has DVDs anymore?
Exactly, which has this cover, and I was totally sold. I was like, "Oh, this is some sweet '80s
and mind
horror
you,
movie."
the cover was 3D, so it had a slip cover on it. It was like 3D, so you could feel the cyst.
So I picked this thing up, and I'm looking at the back, and I'm like, "Oh, this is like a legit older horror movie that I've never heard of," and I was really excited about it. And so yeah, my brother stops in. We have no clue what movie we're gonna watch, and so then Jake was like,
"Throw it in.
Let's do this. Let's play the trailer."
That's a good one. It's nice and juicy. Can you feel that?
Barely.
Can you feel that? We'll get this out sooner than later, okay? I've invented a machine that removes the cyst just like that.
Guy's been throwing himself into this machine for years.
This machine is dangerous.
Relax, Patty. It's gonna work this time.
Guy's just being really difficult this morning.
Probably nervous today.
But why?
The patent examiners are coming.
It is so nice to see you again.
This new unit features a patented...
That's not patented yet.
Let's talk about the damn machine!
Oh my God! I'm getting that patent.
Let's blast this thing.
Oh, thank God! As soon as I get out of here, I am going to sign that patent paperwork.
You made it?
As I live and breathe.
I think on there it said old school monster horror, and it really was. I mean, you've got a completely new idea, in my opinion, because we've seen everything, old school monster horror. This was a fresh idea, I think, and a fantastic origin story, if you ask me, for this monster. And I think it was clever. And the old school effects, the practical effects, despite a low budget, were, I think, extremely entertaining, man. They were super well done, yet had a little bit of camp. So I feel like anything that was like cutting corners or whatever, it looked cheap or whatever, you could do that in a camp movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can get away with that in a way that is done, I don't know, in an entertaining way. So, I mean, there were some clever things in there, like you saw her hit his knee with
Dude, I was going to bring that up.
I was cracking up. It's just clever.
It was
clever.
It was so stupid.
Yeah.
But when it happened, it really got me. I was like, "Oh, that's funny." But in a very stupid way. It just got
the camp.
the child inside of me thought that was hilarious.
Like a nut shot.
I don't always find that funny, but anyway,
Depends on if you're
I
in the
agree
receiving end.
with what you're saying. I'm not sure I would call it original, but
Sure.
it
Well, okay. Compare it to comps. What are some comps?
comps
Yeah,
comparable, just something to compare.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
sorry. I guess I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm saying call it ignorance.
Okay.
Have you seen what other monster movies have you seen?
When I mean it's not original, for me, the reason why I like it is because even though I've mentioned that I didn't grow up watching horror, when I was a kid, there was this creature feature guy named Svengoolie. If you could toss that
yeah.
photo
Wow.
of Svengoolie up there, this
Oh
guy,
yeah! Wow.
he had a show. It was either Saturday when I was a kid. It was on Saturday mornings after all the cartoons, and he would have these like 50s, 40s black and white horror movies.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so, I mean, they were horror or sci-fi,
Yeah.
but they were done back then. It was supposed to be a serious thing.
Yeah.
And now we just look at it and we laugh, but it obviously it was only practical effects. So that was my first introduction. Some of my favorites were Killer Shrews, if you can throw that poster up.
Killer Shrews.
Yeah, which
What?
I was introduced to Killer Shrews from Svengoolie.
That looks like a Jim Henson Muppet or something.
Yes,
The Jug Band one.
exactly. And another one was called Fiend Without a Face. This is literally one of my favorite horror movies that I was first introduced to. I thought I was like, nobody had heard of this movie before, but then I had come to find out that this is part of the Criterion Collection? How do you say that? And if anybody is unaware of what that is, the Criterion Collection is an American home video distribution company that focuses on licensing, restoring, and distributing important classic and contemporary films that have basically shaped or
Interesting.
they kind of pushed the boundaries of technology and so forth.
Yeah.
So I was like, I love this movie, and I didn't think many people knew about it. Then I found out it was on the Criterion Collection.
Yeah.
So obviously it had enough behind it that people were like, this is a classic.
Yeah, that
this
kinda gives
pushed
it
the
legs. It
boundaries.
kinda
Yeah,
gives it some-
exactly.
yeah, absolutely.
Until you find out
Uh-oh.
that Armageddon is also on the Criterion Collection.
What band is that? Steven Tyler.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith. If I could stand
Yes.
there, love you forever.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
that one.
anyway,
That was a shit movie.
yeah. So then that kind of discredits almost a little bit the Criterion Collection. If you were to say I did grow up on horror, it would be stuff like this.
Yeah.
So I have like an internal kind of love for this campy, even though it's supposed to be serious. Now, Cyst definitely is campy for the sake of campy.
Yeah.
And it's definitely calling back to movies like Fiend Without a Face and Killer Shrews.
Sure.
It's obvious that was the archetype that they were trying to go for. And I think they nailed it. I loved it. This is a let's all laugh together.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I loved, as we've said before, I love the practical effects. The Dr. Guy, he is one of the main characters in Trolls 2, which is considered by many one of the greatest, worst movies ever.
Woo!
I tried to do research on this movie. There isn't much to it.
It's really not. It was a low budget, simple, fly by night type of deal that I think was done during COVID.
Well,
like right around there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, and I think it just kind of flew under the radar and is kind of popping up in people's junk like mine in my hoard and getting around. Look, it's a simple movie. There's not a ton to say about it. I really enjoyed it. I'd say, as far as hanging out with your friends and watching something, like 100%. Like this is, you guys will crack up. You'll be talking. It's got a lot of gross humor
Yes.
in it.
I did want to mention
yeah.
that I think all three of us, when we were watching it, we kind of were like, the cyst isn't slimy enough. You remember that? How we kind of were all like, we didn't
You're like,
feel like...
that cyst is looking a little dry.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of slime. In fact, I did start to legitimately start to get dry heaves at one point. stuff that looks like infectious snot really
remember that.
just gets me, which leads to me. The other day, I watched a movie called Body Melt. It's hideous. It is so bad. It's like a pharmaceutical horror.
Okay.
And this supplement that they're pushing out on people are causing people to explode, which there's one scene where some dude is watching some skin flick and he gets a Hardy and his wiener explodes all over the TV. Anyway, so this stuff is causing people to explode, but they're also secreting. Oh my gosh, I'm start to...
See, this sounds a lot like ooze or whatever that was, where like that homeless guy was.
Street trash.
Thank you, street trash. It sounds a lot like street. Wow! Thank you.
Not a
You
problem.
got that.
Anyway, this Body Melt. There's this scene where this guy is like oozing the stuff out of it.
Do it. Hey, Gabe, can we pull up a Can we pull up some photos of? Thank you.
Oh, you did your.
What is this? Holy shit!
Bro. Anyway,
Holy shit! This looks amazing.
I'm sitting in my bed watching this movie. Yes,
That's
this is a
rough.
review for Cyst, but I'm watching this Body Melt, and this scene comes up so bad. I jumped out of my bed because I legitimately thought that it wasn't going to be just a dry heave. I thought chunks were coming. It was.
Oh, do you like? I like how the top Body Melt right there. Yeah, that the one on the two more to the right looks like it's trying to be serious, kind of like a slither or something like that.
Exactly.
It wasn't with their tongue, man. Oh my god, this is okay. So, anyways,
Anyway,
wow,
so
this looks so good.
Cyst had some of. It's getting me, guys.
You can see that that's the only good scene in the movie because they used that photo for everything. The guy's face
Body
melting
Melt. Oh
off.
yeah, that one was pretty good. His like face just kind of like exploded. Anyway, it got me. And Cyst had that same effect. Body Melt did it far worse, but Cyst had that same gag. Exactly, very weak in that area. Now, thanks.
Do you? Okay.
If I was going to give Cyst a numerical, I'm not going to give it more than a 6. But I loved it, and I would say anybody who's into that 50s, 40s type horror, this is
Monster
something.
flick, yeah,
you
definitely.
need to check this out. My brother mentioned there's a scene where the receptionist starts talking to the Cyst like,
oh yeah, like
you just want to be loved. You don't want to be rejected anymore.
Yeah.
He was like, I really wish they would have leaned into that, which made me laugh because then I started thinking, what if all of them were like just like, yeah, and they gave it a group hug, but the trick was they gave them
pop it.
and they gave the group hug and it just
that would have
popped.
been great. But
the
that would have
Cyst.
been a very like, but yeah, it's fun. It's a quick flick. I think I think some of it could have been cut out. Some of it was just like keep reiterating stuff, and like some of it I did not understand.
Yeah.
There were scenes that, like the janitor. The janitors. I think the janitor could have just been taken out completely.
Oh, yeah.
There was no reason for him whatsoever. He's stealing supplies.
Made no
and
sense.
doing for what reason? So that the monster could have knives
in it? It didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense whatsoever. So that there's some of it could just been taken out. The guy that pisses and moans about his cyst, strictly
Oh,
to
the
have
old
it
guy.
chopped off during quarantine,
Didn't make any
lockdown.
sense.
I think that guy was extremely.
I wanted to. Okay, this is since we don't really have a lot to say about this movie. I mean, essentially, our review is done. It's good.
Yeah.
If you are into that
Click.
kind of thing, watch it. That's the end of our review.
6 out of 10.
Yeah,
6 out of 10 on me. Yeah. So.
But still, something that I
Can
would
you edit
watch.
that in there?
Like 6.
Some little skulls.
Oh, okay, maybe. We'll think about it. Depends on how much time I have.
Maybe 6 Jaspers.
Yeah, 6 Jaspers. 6 Jasper middle fingers for this.
I give it 1.
He's a jerk.
Okay.
These are true stories that I wanted to share just to give some kind of... My Ruben, when we were done...
Ruben's his brother.
Yeah, who watched it with us. I felt a little bad because he actually was getting some PTSD from the movie because he had something called a pilonidal cyst.
Oh no.
I don't think, Gabe, you can look it up, but it's not going to be.
I don't think I want to.
Okay, so this is
Well, why wouldn't we share with our viewers?
you could. Oh, okay. Here's
Whoa,
the
we
thing, guy.
Oh, poor
I will
guy.
leave this up. This is a cyst that occurs
Oh,
right at the
jeez.
top of your butt crack.
Yeah, we can't put this up.
The funny thing, and he had to get surgery for this.
Poor.
Oh.
Now, we could share it. I have a video of this up on my YouTube channel,
Nope.
Fourth Tribe.
Nope.
If you want to look it up, it's on Fourth Tribe. Oh my gosh.
What?
Don't worry, this is
What?
not on camera, but
Okay, so yeah,
I don't know what I'm looking at. Is that a belly button?
several buttholes, and the doctor told him that some of these will actually have like teeth growing inside of them.
Shut the front
Yeah.
door.
And like hair will grow in there and so forth. So they had to cut him open. He wishes the Get Gone was available at the time, but they had to cut him open. They like sliced in to get rid of it, and then they couldn't suture it up because it could end up growing back. So they had to leave it open so that it would grow from the back out. Anyway, so there's a video of that on my YouTube.
How big was it? Because on this, there's like,
I don't know.
it's like
I mean, we
looking
can
like
watch
this.
the video and you can see. If you want.
No, well, no,
It's
no,
pretty nasty.
No, oh, maybe after
Okay.
our viewer is gone.
So he was feeling a little like, I don't know, self-conscious during watching that.
Really?
No.
I was gonna say
No,
no. You can't don't tell me
no,
Ruben
no,
knows
but
self-conscious about anything.
He did bring it up when we were done. He was like, "Dude, you got to show my video." And I was like, "I don't know. I'll let people know where they can find it."
Fourth Tribe.
Yep.
YouTube.
That's one word. Fourth Tribe. I don't know. I think it's named like butt wound or something like that. I don't know.
Gabe can find it while we're talking. While we're
Is it
finishing.
possibly,
While we're finishing up here.
a 35-second video called "Wounded Rear."
Yeah, wounded rear. There you go.
That's it.
It's not very long. Yeah, it's just.
Okay, come on, let's see it. If he
Okay.
wants to edit it out, let's edit it
Let's
out.
do it. Let's show
Let's do it
this.
out. I feel bad already.
Warning: be prepared.
Oh, fuck, dude.
This
I
is-
love how it's the pants up. It's the reveal.
Yep.
How old is
Here we
this
go,
movie?
hang on.
This is a long.
We are about to witness the unveiling of his massive wound.
Look at that's all. That's VHS.
And that's not added in there, Gabe. Like you
yeah,
kids
that's
today.
not special effects.
Oh
my
Look at that ass
God.
crack.
Oh my
But
god!
now I get-
Oh!
Oh my god! This is real tough.
Okay. Oh my god!
Yeah. Okay. That's enough of that.
That's enough of that.
That's enough of that.
What is he coming back? You think he's coming back? Okay. Well, that was Creepin' It Real. Thanks for watching. See you later.